What is up, and welcome back to the Wigan Athletic career, where we are now 2 months into season number 2, and we're actually doing pretty good. Last time out, first episode of season 2, we played their first game. We drew with West Brom 1-1. I thought West Brom was going to be a good team in the championship, because they usually are. They're actually in the relegation zone. So, not so much. Didn't know that at the time. A 1-1 draw, we will take, though. Actually, if you look at the month of August here, you see a lot of wins in there. But only one of those is in the league. We beat Swansea 5-2 in our second game of the season. It took us a month to get our second win. So we're not winning a ton of games. But on the flip side, we're not losing a ton of games. We've won 2, we've drawn 1, we've drawn everything else. So we're fairly balanced. I think that's actually okay for us. All we want to do this year is avoid relegation. Currently, we sit in 11th place. That's perfectly fine. We're not scoring a ton of goals. We're not conceding a ton of goals. We're just middle of the road. I'm perfectly happy if the season plays out just like that, because no relegation scrap. We're not going to win anything probably this year, but that is perfectly fine with us. But quick run through of our results since last time out. In the Carabao Cup, we did manage to beat Luton 3-2. Then we played MK Dons, a League One team. We beat them 3-0, kind of expected to win that one. In the league for August, like I said, we beat Swansea 5-2. Then we drew Hull and we drew Sunderland. Both of those two teams are now above us in the table, so those draws actually don't look too bad. Into September, we lost our first game of the season against QPR. That one's not good because QPR is right outside the relegation zone. They're not a good team. And we just got spanked in that one. I really don't know what happened. We had a full 2 weeks off, an international break before we played QPR. I will say, though, Arabi and someone else, I can't remember, Pasalic, both of them were gone on international duty, and they came back, and they were not fit for that game. So that hurt us a lot. Arabi has almost half of our league goals so far. If we don't have Arabi, we're not scoring. And clearly, we couldn't even do it against QPR with our reserve striker. So, yeah, that was a bit of an issue. We then went on to lose to Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup. Not a bad showing from us, though. They're a Premier League side. They're actually mid-table in the Premier League right now. We took them to pens. We just have awful penalty takers. Nothing I can do about that. We gave them the best that we could, and we very nearly pulled that one off with a very rotated side as well, I would say. It was not a bad performance from us. I'll take that. Unfortunately, we're out of the Carabao Cup this year after making the final last season. We then drew with Huddersfield 0-0. Also not a great result. They came up with us from League One this season, and they're in 14th. They're not a great team. We probably should have won that game. Just couldn't figure out how to score a freaking goal in that one. Not really sure what happened there. But then we went on to beat Millwall 2-1, which is weird because Millwall currently in 4th place, and that was their first loss of the season. So the teams that are above us, like Millwall, Hull City, even Sunderland, we haven't lost to any of the teams above us. We're actually doing quite well there. But the flip side is we're not beating the teams below us either. So I don't know. I think we are what we are. We're middle of the road, and I'm okay with that. And we are about to play Ipswich. And if you saw the table from a minute ago, they are right above us in the table. They're 10th, we're 11th. Slight issue though. We played Millwall 3 days ago, and for the first time this season, didn't properly rest the players. So that's our first team. They're quite tired. We're going to have to heavily rotate against Ipswich. Good news, Brian Gonzalez is fit, because I think I subbed him off pretty early in the Millwall game for whatever reason. But he's good to go. The rest of the team, not so much. But before we get in and play Ipswich, a couple of roster moves to go over. I called Frederick Corbin up from the Youth Academy. He is 63 rated. He's now kind of our auxiliary left back, right back, which means I sent Bobby Ashton out on loan to Brescia. Those Brescia kits are really nice. I got a little bit distracted there. But yeah, Bobby Ashton out on loan because he was, wait, hold the phone. He was 60 rated, now he's 63. He got a nice little bump to his overall rating. You know, makes me want to check the other players that are out on loan. Cruz, I think Cruz went up by 2 or 3. He was like high 50s rated, I think. Maybe 59, 60 rated. I think he went up a little bit. What about Libor Tuma 68 rated all of a sudden. What happened to him? He was like 63, 64, now he's 68. Makes me think I probably should have sent Lewis Thornton out on loan. Not gonna lie, it would have been nice to get him up to like 70 rated really quick. I might actually look at doing that in January, just to get him a little bit of a bump. He's getting playing time, and he is growing. I mean, he's up to 65 now. He's grown by +1, but nowhere near what Libor Tuma's doing out on loan. That's insane. What about the last player? Sigurdsson has not grown at all. That kind of goes in line with what I think of he doesn't have any potential. So not surprised there. But we also do have one more new signing before I get too distracted. Algasime Ba just needed a third striker because as much as I like Atete, and he's actually doing quite well, he's in good form as well, he has terrible stamina. He can't make it 90 minutes most of the time, so I do have to bring in a striker off the bench usually to finish games, especially when Arabi can't go and he cannot play against Ipswich. You'll most likely see Algasime Ba come in at the end of the game. So that's who that is. New addition to the team. He can also play out wide if we need him to, but definitely more of a striker option. So now we are ready to take on Ipswich. We'll be at home for this one, but as you can see, very, very rotated. That's the fittest team that we have available to us. Let's see what they can do against a pretty solid Ipswich side. All right, let's see what this squad has got. And Tete, the 6 foot, was he 6'6" or 6'7"? He's an absolute mountain of a man, and he actually has been really, really good getting the full run of games in the Carabao Cup. He scored 4, I think, goals in the Carabao Cup in the 3 games that we had. Solid striking option for us, and he's already grown by +1. He just has no stamina, which has been a bit of an issue. Not sure how that pass got by Robinson, or how that dude just ghosted by Fish, or how he just slammed it top bins. What was that goal? How did that dude just dribble in a straight line and nobody tackled him? That made no sense. I don't even know what just happened there. Go up to Atete. Kind of wanted to lay it for Danilo, but that's okay. Back to Atete. Taps it forward. Atete. Got a little speed for a big man. Stops, turns, shoots. Flashes it pretty well wide. That really wasn't that close. Harness now with the flashy passes is starting to piss me off. So, whoa, Sam Tickle. That ball almost got by him. That was terrifying. Corner here for Ipswich. They go short. Ranking out to try to defend. This Harness guy is pissing me off. He's actually too good. Nobody's going to stop the ball. Oh, Fish. No, that was Jackson Reagan that got in the way. They're going to have another chance at it. Jackson Reagan again in the way. Come on, Jackson. There you go. Corbin took it off of Harness before it could get going. That was a lucky bounce. We take those to Brian Gonzalez. Collects it from Atete and takes it out wide. Back inside. There's Danilo. There's the support we need. Go on, Danilo. Shoot it. Or to it. Brian, he was onside as well. He was in a good spot, and he just... Was he onside? Wait, was he? He was not. He was offside. Didn't matter. Where is Luke Robinson going? Why was he in no man's land? That goal would have been on Robinson there. I don't even know what he was doing on that throw-in. But the shot goes wide, and that takes us to halftime. We've had the better chances, or at least we've had more chances. I'm not sure we've had the better chances. We're creating. We just, again, can't score. Atete for Matty Smith. Up to Danilo. Out wide. There's Corbin. Now getting involved offensively. Go on. Stops. Pulls it back. Interesting ball, but he finds Smith. Back heel for Morel. In there for Robinson. Oh, he just couldn't find space for a shot. That was actually very well worked. I'm pretty sure almost everybody on the pitch touched the ball in that build-up. Couldn't get a clean look at a shot. That is so unfortunate that just happened. Maury Hutchinson's coming forward, and Hutchinson is going to score. That sucks. That sucks. After a great build-up play from us, it just, again, we did everything right there, and we just got incredibly unlucky. Why do we keep making these stupid passes? How do you stop your team from making these, like, no-look, 180, no-scope passes to nobody? It makes no sense. Hutchinson's just through again. Sickle's able to make a save. Ipswich is just a better team than us. Up for Danilo. Ooh, the skill on the ball from the Brazilian. And then Matt Smith. Okay, I gotta take Matt Smith. I have noticed this year, as I go to swap out my midfield because they're both trash, our backup midfielders, I'm glad we got Bonko Pavic and I can never remember what the other guy's name is. Benavides. They are such an upgrade in passing the ball over Smith and Morel. I don't normally mind Smith and Morel. They've played a lot in the cup matches and they've done okay, but It's just there's a massive gap in what we can do with those players compared to our normal starters. It's not even close, and I don't have anyone to bring in for Jackson. Actually, I do. I can bring in Rodriguez, and I can swap Robinson because he can play center back. We'll do that. I don't really want to burn Rodriguez right here because we have Leeds coming up, but needs must. Reagan is hurt. Good block. There goes Rankin. Go on, Rankin. Use the speed. There you go, Rankin. Thornton, make a run inside, or just run to the sideline and do nothing. That's also awesome. Yeah, I might have to send Lewis Thornton out on loan. I am starting to notice these lower-rated players that I got away with using in League One, they're not going to cut it in the championship. Thornton has been good at times, but there's too often where he just does stupid stuff like that. That's the end of the game. That was about as well, actually, I would say as abysmal as I thought it was going to be. It was worse. I did not expect that. We couldn't complete a pass. That was horrific. And some more bad news. Jackson Reagan has a sprained knee. He'll be out for up to 4 weeks. Great. So 4 days later, we're off to Ellen Road to take on Leeds United. They're very, very good. They're up fighting for an automatic promotion spot this season, as would be expected. We're back to full fitness, or fairly close to it. Let's see if we can get a result against another good team in this league. We'll see what we can do here. I like our center back pairing of Fish and Hughes. I also like our defensive mid pairing of Benavidez and Pavic, and that was almost 1-0. We haven't even touched the ball yet. Can he find a ball? He gets it to Brian Gonzalez. Top of the box for Asgard. Oh, a dummy run. A chip ball. I think he's onside. No! Pasalic could have scored his first goal for the team. That was such a good play. That was beautifully worked, but again, we just can't score goals. That was such a weird play. Oh, like went through Rodriguez's legs, hit the Leeds guy, and then bounced to one of our players. But now Brian Gonzalez steaming forward. Referee! Disgusting challenge. Let's see some colors. Which one is it going to be? I'm okay with this. That was probably a yellow card there. It is just a yellow card. Fair enough, but that was a disgusting tackle. Leeds on it. They're working it very well here. Just stay in front of him. Hughes glides past him and just opens up a shooting lane. How do our players do that? We never get that on the other end. Never does a player just glide by and let us have a free shot. Never. There we go. There's a lot of players in the middle for us. Now we find some space. Arabi's making a good run. Go on, Yusuf. Referee! That's a pen. That might even be a red card. That was a disgusting tackle. That one deserved a red for sure. Joe Rodon is gone. Do we have a pen from that? I don't think it's going to be a pen because he would have blown it dead right away. That looked like it was in the box. Was it not? It's just outside. Ref, are you sure? Can we get some VAR on that? Because I swear the contact was in the box. All right, Asgard. I've seen him score a free kick before. Last year. He can hit these. Asgard! Oh, just over the bar. And I see it still doesn't feel like they have a red. It feels like they're just walking through us. They are just walking through us. Fish wasn't anywhere near that guy. He just watched him shoot. I don't know what's going on with our defense today. Oh, good. Here comes Leeds straight from kickoff in the second half. All right, you know what? Let's just go for it. Attacking. Let's see what we can do. I've also just kind of reset the tactics here. I've just gone straight back to balance. Whatever we're doing, it just ain't working. We look so disjointed out there. Not that was not any better at all whatsoever. Robbie just dribbled it until he lost it. That was stupid. What is that defense? What am I seeing? Not only are we not, it's not like we're just not going to the ball. We're actively moving away from the players that have the ball. I don't understand. I've never seen that before. I honest to God, like, you couldn't make the players do that. I don't know what's happening. Arabi was just standing in there by himself. He's standing still by himself. Give the ball to Arabi. There you, Arabi, please. Arabi! Yusuf Arabi scores. We finally found him in a goal-scoring opportunity, and he scores. We've equalized. For the love of God, they're down a man and absolutely slapping us around. This is just embarrassing. We can't allow this. Why are we so... I cannot with this fucking team right now. What is that? What is the defending? You just let him walk by you and nobody's marking Patrick Bamford. Nobody's near him. I don't know how to fix that. All right, we've made, I think, all of our changes now. We'll see if we can find an equalizer here. I know Leeds is a good team, but like, they realistically have not been better than us. We've just played like absolute dog shit. It's not like they've just been a great team. That's a great ball. The Thornton, Lewis Thornton from Atete. The substitutes link up. It's 2-2. Still about a half an hour to play. Neither team can defend anymore. I don't know what's going on. Good high press. Get the turnover. Go on, Thornton. Thornton breaks through. Lewis Thornton. Oh! Oh, the youngster. The youngster very nearly made it happen on his own. It would appear, oh, no, here they come. I'll say it appears they're perfectly happy just taking a 2-2 draw. Honestly, I'd be happy with a 2-2 draw. They're a very good team. Even up a man, it doesn't seem like we have the capacity to win this game, but we've actually been on the front foot here. Atete, now they can't defend. Atete literally just walked through their defense. Atete with a screamer from the top of the box. He puts it home. Maybe all we needed was substitutes. I don't know what happened. I made all 5 changes at the same time, and all of a sudden, we're pounding Leeds. Dion Rankin! I was about to slew him because he's a terrible defender. I don't know how he plays right back, but that was a majestic slide tackle. And here comes Lewis Thornton up the wing. Thornton taking it. Okay, well, that was a stupid pass. Just take it to the corner, Lewis. Take it to the corner. Okay, take it inside. Here comes Asgard to Atete. Back heels to Pavic. In there for Brian Gonzalez. Leaves it for Atete. Atete scores again. It's 4-2 to Wigan Athletic. I told you Atete was good. Atete is the man. And there is the final whistle. I don't know what the hell just happened. Honest to God, I don't know what just happened. About halfway through that second half, Leeds lost the plot. They looked crisp and sharp, tearing us apart with precision passes, elite lockdown defending, and then they just couldn't complete a pass. They just let us walk through the defense like we were doing in the first half. I don't understand this game. I have no idea what just happened. All right, so with those results today, we actually move up a spot, I believe. I think we were at 11th, now we're 10th. Ipswich also moved up, but we're level on points with them. And so far this season, we've beaten Millwall and Leeds, the second and third place teams in the league. Albeit, there's an asterisk along with that because both of them had red cards when we beat them. I forgot about the Millwall one. We did beat them. They had a red card. Leeds got a red card last game. So take from that what you will. We've also drawn Hull City. They're 5th. And Sunderland, they're 8th. Ipswich is the only team above us to have beaten us, and we had a very rotated side for that. So basically what I'm trying to say here is I still have no idea if we're good or not. I really have no clue. I do think that we are probably a mid-table team this year. I don't see us falling off a table and ending up being a relegation scrap. I think we're going to end up right around 12th, I would say, if I had to take a guess. Good news, coming up for the rest of this month, very easy schedule. Derby is our next game. They're in last, followed by Cardiff. They're only 2 points or 2 spots ahead of them. So both relegation teams right now. Middlesbrough are 1 spot behind us, and I think 1 point behind us. They're in 11th. Then we get into November. Terrifying. We have Stoke. Very, very good. They're sitting in 4th right now. And the juggernaut that is Leicester City. I'm just going to say, having Christian Kuyame in the championship, which Leicester has, that's a cheat code. I'm a little pissed about that. But from what I can see, we'll play them after an international break. So we might not have a fully fit Yusuf Arabi going into that. It might be a Tete that goes up against Leicester City, which at this point, I'm not mad at. I'm okay swapping in a Tete right now. I don't think we lose very much at this point. From what I've seen in the last couple games, we actually get a little bit more out of a Tete than we're getting out of Yusuf. I'm not saying that there's a striker battle right now. I'm still with Yusuf. We're still going with him as the first choice. But, if he's not available, it's not the end of the world at this point. So that is where we're going to end it for today. If you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new. And I will see you when we come back, probably to play Stoke and Leicester.